Hello everybody, my name is King Carnage, and I'd like to welcome you back to my Super Smash Bros. Brawl Let's Play. And the last time we finished off the challenges up to 10, and had great difficulty with number 10. In this time we're going to move on to the Subspace Emissary mode. So this is the this game's story mode. Begin without entering name. Yes, that's fine. We're going to be doing this on the hard difficulty. That's what was voted for. And we're going to start off with the cutscene. I love the cutscenes in this mode. They're probably my favorite thing about it. So, apparently, they're holding an exposition match between Mario and, you'll see in a second, Kirby. I don't want to spoil the story mode of Subspace. I just like to imagine these like two Smash Bros. Gladiators fighting against each other. Playing against Mario in this very cheesy versus screen. This is a very simple stage to be fighting on. It's pretty much like Final Destination. Items can drop on this map, I think. Yeah, right there. Expected him to use the projectile for that. But so pretty much it's just your typical stock. Instead of showing the stocks down by your damage, it displays them. It's a poison. Yeah, that's a poison mushroom. It displays them in a little bar on the side. That's more important later on in the mode. But for right now, you only have Mario to play as, so it's pretty much the same thing as a regular stock match. This mode gets pretty interesting later on. It gets very different from normal gameplay. I should not be having this much trouble with the first fight. I was hoping I'd get him. There we go. Here we have Pit, who's just been watching. Apparently he was watching Melee too. Pit's a good example of characters who got a second chance through Smash Bros. Because it wasn't until after Smash Bros. That he got his own game. And that's a good example of, like, sometimes your decisions in the game will determine like later parts of it. For example, obviously if you play as Kirby, it'd be Mario who was down and Kirby who would revive him. Some changes will affect gameplay slightly, but it's never too big of an issue. And here we have the generic enemy of this game, the Goomba. And the princesses are joining in the fight. So this is what I meant by the health will sometimes matter. You get to choose the order in which you play as characters. So this is the main gameplay style of Subspace. As you can see, the enemies have a health bar, unlike normal gameplay. You still die by getting hit off the stage, but all the enemies die from sustaining too much damage. So it's an interesting change on the system, on the whole generic Smash Brothers gameplay style. It actually plays more like a Kirby game than anything else. these enemies up here, the cloud enemies, they can get pretty annoying. Right now, they're the little fluffy Nimbus clouds, I think. Not a meteorologist, so don't take my word on that. But if you hit them, if they take any damage, then they turn into these clouds, and their attacks get much more powerful and much harder to avoid. That was a little lethargic. But overall, it shouldn't be too difficult on this mode. It can get pretty outlandish on intense difficulty, but I took out pretty much all of them with one character there. It will get harder as time progresses, but if you're playing through on this difficulty, at least for these earlier parts, there won't be too much of a challenge. And the Ancient Minister, he's going to be your antagonist for right now. And the bomb very helpfully shows us how much more time we have, because Ancient Ministers, he's not evil, he gives you a heads up. I mean, all the people in the stands are apparently still just sitting there watching, because, you know, this is just entertaining now. Yeah, they're cheering along to the two princesses getting kidnapped. It's pretty messed up fans we have. And again, they did go to what's basically like a gladiatorial arena for Smash Bros. Characters. I mean, like, so in the Roman gladiator arenas, like, all the gladiator fighters were slaves. So are Mario and Kirby, like, indebted to Peach and Zelda in this universe? I mean, I doubt the makers of Subspace were going that far into the socio-economics of the world. I mean, you really don't see much of the world before this calamity. So, this right here is an example of what I said about your decisions having effect on gameplay. So, depending on whose cage you break, I think I actually broke both of those at the same time. Oh, you dropped a bunch of stickers. And a gun, in case you needed that for the black screen. That's an awfully violent explosion. I forgot he did that. But anyway, depending on who you save, you get either Peach or Zelda to go with Kirby. Wario. Okay, Zelda could have gotten up in that time. That gun had such a ridiculous load time. I mean, Zelda could have gotten up, exited the stadium, and walked away. And the time it took that gun to load up and to charge up. At the very least, she shouldn't have still been helpless. Kirby saves Peach, and everyone else in the stadium dies. All the fans. All of them. Good job, Kirby. We're all very proud of you saving one person. Like I was saying, since we destroyed Peach's cage and Zelda's cage had more health left, Zelda was the one kidnapped by Wario. We're just gonna save the file here. Here's a question: how did Wario make it out of the subspace explosion? I mean, Kirby had the warp star, but Wario just walked out, and he was carrying a statue. Well, we'll just have to assume he survived. So this is the sticker menu. You can use this to power up your attack, your characters, based on who's still in your party. So for example, if we gave this to Kirby, his shield, he wouldn't take as much flinch. Like, he wouldn't flinch as much. Actually, this is Peach. This one's Kirby. Some characters will have specific stickers, but you really don't need to equip stickers. It can help, and you can make some pretty ridiculous characters by doing it. But overall, you'll never really have to. Yeah, I think we could get started on Skyworld here. Just jumping right in. Pit just watched everyone die. Apparently he too didn't understand that this was an actual attack. You think, like, someone in the gladiatorial arena management would have said, like, yo, guys, this is actual trouble. Get out of the stadium. But no, he just let everyone die, including presumably himself. Then Pit gets a bow and arrows and decides that he's now happy despite the genocide that he just witnessed, and jumps out and flies, even though that's not really accurate to how Pit works. I mean, I suppose he's gliding instead of flying, because he's not really going up. But at the same time, I don't think you can glide that smoothly while doing barrel rolls. I don't know. I'm not an expert on aviation. I'm an expert on a lot of things, apparently. So this is kind of how the game is mainly done. This Subspace section. It'll be kind of like Kirby / Metroid style areas that it pretty much goes through in like a typical adventure game style. You still just die from getting hit off the stage, but traversal is pretty much like a adventure game. Here we have the Halberd. I love this ship. I call it the SS Narcissism because it's literally Meta Knight's face as a ship. Imagine if naval captains just plastered their face on the front of the ship. Like a pirate captain, instead of having like a mermaid on the bow, he has a just like a sculpture of himself. So this is just another generic fight all the enemies. You'll never actually fight on actual stages. It'll always be kind of fantasy realms, generic fantasy realms. But apparently the SS Narcissism instantly decided that Pit was an enemy and released a bunch of enemies to destroy him. I also like how that goes through platforms. That's mean. CD. I also like how even though it only ever shows the SS Narcissism releasing the little pyramids, these guys, pyramids, yeah. It also apparently releases the clouds in conjunction, even though they never get shown in a cutscene. Oh, and these guys can't actually get damaged, I don't think. Oh, no, those are different guys. Those guys can't get damaged. If you get close to them, they'll spin their blades and hurt you. And these guys are obnoxious, especially on the higher difficulties. Like, that would have killed me on a higher difficulty. Just aim for their head, the little gooey part. It's, you know, your stereotypical, obvious video game enemy weakness. The best thing to do is just dodge behind them when they're coming down with their twin axes. But yeah, no, hard isn't too hard. If we were playing on intense, I probably would have died by now. Just because, very difficult. And apparently Mario has a third-person view of his own memories. And Pit can convey traumatic experiences through a glance. I'm going to continue playing as Pit here. Yeah. So these are another type of enemy. They'll just shoot out different types of energy depending on their color. they're honestly incredibly annoying in all their forms. These are the ones that can't be destroyed. See, they don't even have health bars. They're just there as obstacles, and they will hurt you if you hit them, which I'll probably be doing a lot of. They can be shielded, so... yeah, that's why those enemies are so annoying. They just kind of stop and spray you in the face. Those little items, those can turn, pretty much, not insta-kills. If they get the killing blow on an enemy, they will, turn it into a statue. If not, it will just do damage, do regular damage. I need to stop getting hit so much by this one enemy. This is what I mean by they get a lot more powerful when they're damaged. Like, I wasn't in too much danger from those guys before, but now their blasts are quite dangerous. So, if you're going through this on a higher difficulty, go through doors every chance you get, because when you get a game over, those are count as places you can get revived at, which is incredibly helpful so you don't need to redo entire sections of levels. Like this door, it got me a trophy, but it's completely unnecessary. You don't need to go through here at all. But if I lost all my lives right now, I'd revive there instead of at the beginning of the stage, which is incredibly helpful if you're going through on like intense difficulty, or if you're playing like I am. I already got your trophy, so I'm not gonna. Okay, apparently I'm gonna miss that. Enemies can also get off-screened and die that way, but usually you're just gonna kill them. Yeah, this part of the subspace is pretty boring. I'd say, like, because it's not a desert stage, it usually don't start off in really game. Had to spawn the bomb crate right there. But as I was saying, you usually don't start off in like a cloudy sort of area. It's kind of interesting. I don't know why I picked up that landmine, but I did. These guys will just shoot at you. The best place to stay is directly where the arrow is pointing, oddly enough. But if you just keep hitting them, they'll never actually be able to damage you too much. These will project you, catapult you forward. They're usually faster, but sometimes they can be traps. So, caveat important. And we're too late to stop the SS narcissism, because an angel and a plumber can't catch up to a airship on foot. But that's the first 2-3 stages done of Subspace. So I think I'm gonna call that one an episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you are enjoying the series. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave comments. Any criticism is really helpful. This is my first time doing this, and the more criticism you give me, especially helpful criticism, the better I can make this series overall. So, until then, thank you guys for watching.